This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Nicole Gomez. Let's get right into your top local stories. The large sinkhole on Morena and Napa Street still causing a big headache for commuters, but progress is being made. Crews were out earlier this morning fixing things up, but there's still a long way to go. This all started Wednesday night when a water main broke, sending water gushing into the street. As you see here, crews were able to shut it off, but not before the street caved in. An owner of a nearby business says this isn't the first time something like this has happened.
We've been open for a little over 8 years, and in those 8 years, we've had a number of floods here. Most often it was related to either a water main break or we'd have flood drains that were blocked, and so it would back up, and then it would back up into these streets.
A precautionary boil water notice has been issued for those businesses, and if you live in this area, you're encouraged to avoid it if possible. Well, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria has delivered his 6th State of the City address. He spoke about everything from housing to homelessness and was candid about another tough budget year ahead. But a few major city issues were missing from his address: parking at Balboa Park and the new trash fees, both issues that began largely over the city's budget problems. Mayor Gloria making the case that mismanagement over the last few decades has caused the budgeting issues, but that under his leadership, the city is moving in the right direction, even as it stares down more federal funding cuts.
We made the tough calls to bring our finances closer to long-term stability. Because if we're going to deliver on the basics that you expect, we have to fund the city that we are today, not the city that we were 30 years ago.
The mayor also touted his progress on housing, specifically how rents are declining year over year. He also promised to push forward with the controversial Midway Rising project and 101 Ash Street, which he wants converted into housing. In response to the speech, City Council President Joe LaCava said, quote, "My primary focus on the state of our budget, I strongly believe budget cuts must minimize impact on residents and businesses, and our revenue forecasts must be achievable and sustainable. We are challenged to meet this moment. Posturing must be put aside for the common good." Now, despite San Diegans paying some of the highest electric rates in the country, another SDG&E increase is on the way. So starting in April, SDG&E customers can expect their bills to go up an average of $5 a month. It comes after the State Public Utilities Commission okayed wildfire reduction spending that SDG&E had built up between 2019 and 2022. It included placing power lines underground and layering overhead power lines with covered conductors to keep them from sparking fires. That money will now be collected from customers' monthly bills to the tune of about $5 a month. Well, it may be one step to combat the ongoing sewage crisis in the South Bay. Millions of dollars in funding have been secured to address the cross-border pollution at the Tijuana River Valley. U.S. Representative Juan Vargas and U.S. Senator Alex Padilla yesterday announced they received nearly $3.5 million to remove sediment, trash, and debris from the Tijuana River. They say the funding was made possible through the community project funding process. Overall, the San Diego congressional delegation, along with state senators, have secured more than $650 million in federal funding to address the pollution and make upgrades to the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant. Chief Meteorologist Sheena Parveen joins us now with a look at your forecast.
Hi there. As we head through your Friday afternoon, it's going to be sunny, warm and dry again. So we still have these Santa Ana conditions in the forecast. So the mountains will see an east wind around 20 miles an hour, not too strong. Tomorrow might be a little bit higher, around 30, but it's going to warm us up inland again. Unseasonably warm, mid to low 80s for inland valleys, mid 70s at the coast. Mountains will stay in the mid 60s, deserts around 80 degrees. This weekend, very similar weather patterns. Santa Ana's continue, so we stay pretty steady here with our temperature trend, warmer than normal and a little early fog.
There's a lot going on in San Diego this weekend, including an event that has local motorsports fans revving up to hit Snapdragon Stadium. And at first glance, these license plates might look legit, but not everything is as it seems. What's driving this new trend that could lead to some serious consequences?
you count on breaking news
People running in the streets, they have their kids, they have their pets.
and help preparing for the unexpected.
Small fire right now. We'll keep an eye on it.
You count on stories from your community. You count on getting different points of view
We're still human.
and your voice being heard.
We need help.
You count on in-depth reporting
It's a mess, and it's making people sick.
because you know the whole story is more than just the headline. This is coverage you count on, only on NBC7 and Telemundo 20.
This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Nicole Gomez. Welcome back. San Diego police say they're seeing an upward trend of modified license plates. Some are taking original DMV issued license plates and adding things like a plastic cover that changes the color and the look of the plate. But it's illegal to do that in our state. There are laws banning alterations or tampering with plates and the manufacturing of any device designed to hide plates from cameras. Police say these modifications make it difficult for automated license plate readers to capture a plate number, which makes it harder to track down criminals or stolen vehicles.
It's important to note that this license plate is the property of the Department of Motor Vehicles in the state of California. So it's not an art canvas for you to express your artistic side on. This is the state's property, and it poses an identification role. So we need to make sure that these license plates are clearly readable.
So if you get caught, it's going to cost you. Police say you could get a ticket, have your license plate confiscated, and your car impounded. If your license plate does get confiscated, you would have to get it replaced at the DMV. Well, some tougher rules for people on e-bikes coming to Oceanside. Local leaders have approved updates to their e-bike ordinance. The first update allows for an e-bike to be seized temporarily if the rider is cited for riding recklessly. The second one bans carrying a passenger on an e-bike unless it has a passenger seat. Oceanside police say calls related to e-bikes have gone up drastically in the last few years. The new ordinance is expected to be fully adopted later on this month. Well, tomorrow, a memorial hike and vigil will take place for Maya Millete, the mother of 3 from Chula Vista, who vanished more than 5 years ago. Maya's husband, Larry Millete, is accused of killing her and is currently awaiting the start of a trial happening this spring. He's pleaded not guilty, telling our NBC7 Investigates team he believes she's in hiding. Maya's sister and other family members point to her fear of him and said she wanted a divorce. Chief Meteorologist Sheena Parveen will have another look at your weather right after this.
NBC7 and Telemundo 20. Weather coverage you count on. You count on accuracy.
The winds are going to be increasing.
You count on these experts
Take a look here at our future weather.
in 2 languages.
Más de 3 pulgadas de precipitación.
You count on innovative tech
Look at our first alert Doppler radar
from a
story
team you
here.
depend on.
Dry conditions to round out this week
You count on early warnings
Because we had pretty significant rain.
because you know every second counts.
They just kept getting worse and worse.
This is First Alert Weather. This is coverage you count on, only on NBC7 and Telemundo 20.
Hi there, I'm NBC7 meteorologist Sheena Parveen. Today is still going to be sunny, dry, and warm. Mid-70s at the coast, mid to low 80s inland. So we still have these offshore Santa Ana winds in the forecast. Mountains mid-60s, deserts around 80 degrees. That's going to continue across the weekend. So we're still going to be warm and dry this weekend. Some early fog possibly. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. Still warm and dry, but those Santa Anas do come to an end next week. We'll see more of a cooling trend in the forecast with an onshore flow, much cooler by the end of next week.
Taking a look over Petco Park, where the baseball field has been, as you can see, covered by dirt. That's because the San Diego Rodeo is returning for the 3rd year in a row. The event kicks off tonight, 6 o'clock, and will run through Sunday. There will be everything from traditional competition with top athletes, live music, and after parties. And the rodeo is happening despite an ongoing lawsuit tied to the rodeo due to alleged animal cruelty. Animal rights activists are expected to hold a protest outside Petco Park this afternoon. Well, last weekend it was monster trucks. This weekend Snapdragon is hosting motocross. With a bird's eye view here yesterday, you can see crews reworking the field for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross. It'll showcase some of the world's elite off-road motorcycle racers as they clash in high-flying stadium battles. It's for one day tomorrow starting at 3:30, and then the field will get even more dirt for next weekend's 2nd round of Monster Jam. More coverage you count on NBC7.com. Thanks for watching.